It's something you really missed. I think it's something that you would have been amazed by. It was the most fantastic feeling of everybody living in harmony, in this one area. Well, I could tell you the enthusiasm that my father had for Expo coming. It would be like traveling around the world. It's something my father and I had so much in common, was that type of enthusiasm. What was amazing is that the metro station was going to be on site. So we took the metro, not the car. And when we got off, it was like, your first time going to Disney. You just stop dead in your tracks and do a 360. Well, that was us. You just could not imagine that this train took you right there, and when you walked out, you were in another world, a fantasy world. With every country in the world being there. It was like nothing ever seen before, is what they said. I mean, I could even sing you the song. Hey friends, come on over. How'd you like to see wide open spaces? When you went in, you saw this Ballad. So the best thing to do is we went on the Ballad, and it gives you an aerial view of the area you're in. So it helps you decide where you're going to go. I mean, there was the ground Ballad and then the aerial one. That was so exciting. I mean, it was huge, people coming in from everywhere. And then you start going. Of course, I think we did probably the Canadian Phantomatic first, which I called it the upside down triangle, the point at the bottom. And when you saw it, it was magnificent. It was just like, how could that hold up? And when you went in and then you went to the top, you were able to walk around before. It was actually a square at the top. It was just so futuristic. Nothing we had ever seen before. And what was great about these pavilions is they didn't just show you the countries. They introduced the food, so there would be a restaurant and sometimes a snack bar where you could buy things. And then the souvenir shops. But the souvenir shops were almost like museums. It was just, it was breathtaking. When you stood online, and then, of course, when you went into the pavilion, who were in the pavilion are the people from the countries. It wasn't like local people dressed up in costume. Oh, it's just so fascinating. And then the shows. There were live shows happening at almost every pavilion. So you had to go in, you had to check the schedule every day for times for the live shows, all the time. It wasn't just a matter of visiting pavilions, it was entertainment. You were being entertained by people from those countries. And then you take your passport. And when you go in, you get stamped like a real passport. And I didn't know anything about passports back then. It was like treasure hunting. Where can I get my passport stamped? For people who don't travel or can't travel, this was a huge fantasy. The knowledge that we had was basically of Canada, and I would say mostly it would have been the province that's next door to you. And we would have had some knowledge of the States, United States. But we didn't have knowledge of Africa. So the African countries were fascinating. Nothing like it in the world. And then discovering it, with my mother, and then taking my father and taking these pictures. It's like a memory. Pictures last a lifetime. The memories are just indescribable.